Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger, and this video is my visual guide to all the big changes that are happening here in, I guess we call it the Season 3.5 balance patch for Dragon Ball FighterZ. There will be timestamps all over this video. It'll be a very long video, I'm sure, so use those timestamps to skip around. And speaking of being a long video, I will be covering all the main changes, but things that are very small or things like bug fixes, I'll just gloss over those. This video will be long enough as it is. So that all said, big stuff, big changes, a lot of interesting stuff. Keep in mind, not every single character got changes. So if you're looking for a specific timestamp for a specific character, like say a Zamasu is unchanged. Kid Buu unchanged. They got nothing, right? So not every character is changed, just as a heads up. So with all that said here, let's just start at the top with Super Saiyan Goku and work our way down. Lots of cool things. Oh, and also really quick, if you want to see the patch notes, either check at the end of this video for the video covering patch notes or check the video description for a link. Okay, so first up here, Super Saiyan Goku. Yes, 2M-ku, all that. The down medium has been sped up. So it is now at point blank range, 12 frames. So not quite where it used to be necessarily, but it keeps the range buff it got. So yo, it's still pretty good as far as range is concerned, and it is a little bit faster yet. So not fully reverted to the way it was, but still a little bit best of both worlds, if you will. Another big change for Super Saiyan Goku, the B assist. So the B assist got sped up. So it was always a very high blocks and assists, as you can see here, 40 frames. And now it's all the faster yet. So comes in at 20 frame startup. And the move, you know, it has some range, as you can see here, right? So if you're looking for a lockdown assist that comes in very fast, then hey, I know it's hard to give up the old traditional beam, to be sure, but this is pretty good. 40 frames now at this new speed of 20 frames, not too shabby. Now, if you read the patch notes, you probably read this one here. For aerial Kamehamehas, mid-air ones, it says, when used as a mid-air follow-up, any hit but the final one causes a ground bounce. So as it stands, a lot of us have been working through this, and we're a little confused by this right now. I'm sure it'll make more sense in time, but right now, the patch has been live for about an hour or something about as I'm recording this. I'm not sure, honestly. I've not been able to really force it to get any kind of ground bounce of note. Going on to Piccolo, some significant changes to how the grabs work. So he always had his grabs, you know, it's basically his ki blast equivalent, and you'll use the old Dalsum stretchy arm to grab you. And now you can hold the button and get a delayed changed version of it. So normally if I were to do the stand S to grab here, like I could go into like a heavy, so I could cancel into stand heavy or down heavy, something like that, but like nothing too big. But if you do the held version now, you actually get fully new combo routes, as it just dumps them in front of you and you have a lot of frame advantage. So I can now go like something like that, and that's a proper combo when it never was before. That would not have been possible before. So now you actually get combo opportunities, so I can do charge version, light, and get a whole full proper combo from there. Like unlaunch them and all that fun stuff, right? And before, yeah, it was limited. Didn't work that way, so you're going to have to catch people sleeping because, you know, it is slow, right? 42 frames is slower than even the ones we usually complain and cry about. But still, you will always catch people sleeping. That's the nature of fighting games, no matter how slow something is, right? And if you do, man, the reward is very big. For a Hell Zone Grenade, the big change here is if you successfully reflect it, basically, the screen is not filled full of explosions on every single one, right? So I do have a picture-in-picture here, so you can see how it was before. So yeah, the screen is just a lot more readable, so if you're waiting to like high-low them or something after the reflect is done with, it'll be a lot easier for the enemy to read what's actually going on. Piccolo got some changes to his assists as well. His B assist, that's the old shocker here, he will now appear further forward while doing it. And it has more stun overall. They're just held in place for the initial hit a bit longer, making it just easier to work with combo-wise. Also, his C assist, this guy here, now has the ability to tank hits. So you can actually smack him, and just like his normal grounded medium demon slicer, it will have a little bit of armor to it. So Piccolo, this assist is a lot more useful than it was before. Now, Piccolo has an amazing A assist, so I don't know if you'd really ever want to use it, but still, it is better yet. So, Tien Gohan only got changes to his B and C assist, but still, I think it's pretty good. So first up, the B assist, I got some footage from before the patch went live. Look at where the B assist leaves him out, right? So you can see here, the range is kind of whatevs. And now, with the patch being live, if we have a look here, we'll go all the way to full screen. Oh, hey, look at that. So when the patch said here, oh, he moves forward a little bit more during the assist, they mean like full screen, straight up, right? And he'll dunk this on your head. The block stun, just so you know, it's always been fairly significant here, though 35 frames. It is a weak projectile, though, meaning you are able to super dash during the block of it, or conversely just super dash before it even connects and go through it. So that's, you know, it's just whatever, just so you know. But now, if you missed that old Bardock B full screen stuff, you can definitely recreate it with Tien Gohan, because that's an option available to you now. Also, his C assist now tracks. Never tracked before, and now it does. So there you go. So wherever the enemy is on screen, young lad Gohan will be there to meet him with his fists, or rather, I guess not fists, his kicks of fury, if you will, and just crank you from there. So combo ability with this assist goes up. Captain Ginyu, his B assist is changed up, and it's pretty wacky. So normally the B assist would come and would just call whatever the appropriate Ginyu Force member's S assist is. So basic heat up blast button, that's what would be called, right? And now the rules are out the window. So let's tag out here. And so right here, that's Galdo's S. This is Rakum's Beam. So definitely not just a stand S. We also have Birder doing the screen control move and so on and so forth there. That's the S. But now if we switch up, now Galdo comes and he does his Paralyze move. And this is Miracle Bomber. You know, this move, it takes a while, so this, I guess, makes it the longest lasting assist in the game, right? And so, yeah, move gets crazy. Like, we got Caesar Procedure here. Purple Comet Attack, off an assist. So, yeah, like, as far as I can tell, the early moves are fixed, and it just gets kind of weird from there. But if you're looking for some of the most unpredictable assist stuff in the game, man, oh man, oh man. This is pretty big. It rotates through basically a fixed amount of moves, and there's a lot of permutations now, obviously, because there's so much to work with. But yeah, so Ginyu's B assist, if you can tame this thing, if you can master it, and truly remember every time what's up on deck, hey, I think this will work out great for you. Okay, Cell. Cell's pretty bananas, because now Cell gets to break one of the core rules of the game. So when you are in the air, you can either jump a second time, or you can dash. That's it. And if you do one, you can't do the other. If I dash, I can't jump, and if I double jump, well then I can't dash, right? And now Cell gets to say nuts to that. Because now every time he does a perfect attack in the air, it refreshes his air dash and jump potential. So let's show you a very baby combo example. So we used our double jump. Alright, and when you know it, we got another double jump. So I jumped way more times in the air than I normally should be able to. And do that same setup again, just a moment more flair here. So once again here, okay, we already used our jump, but you know what, we just got it back. And after all that, then I still get the air dash after the fact, right? So every time you successfully hit a perfect attack in the air, doesn't matter if you already double jumped, doesn't matter if you already air dash, you get to do it again. So suffice to say the least, this opens up a whole new world of Cell combos, whole new world of potential pressure setups. And yeah, so time to hit the lab, figure that stuff out. I don't got time to check it myself because, hey, I'm making this video. But still, man, this is big, to say the least. Okay, so that's the really big change. And the B assist, well, it's 5 frames faster startup. You're still never going to use it. I'm just going to be real with you here. You are going to be using the A or C assist, not this guy. But if for whatever reason this is exactly what floats your boat, starts up 5 frames faster. 18's big change is around the Destructo discs. So first up here, Destructo Disc has more hit stun on the basic hit. And what does this mean? Well, it means stuff like that's possible. So you can actually do like Destructo Disc loop combos now. So on and so forth. Don't got these quite well mastered yet, but now it's possible. Now, the other big change here is you could always been able to aim the move, and if you aim it downwards, it will now explode when it hits the ground, and that explosion is a separate hit, and this also leads to more combo potential. So basic example, you can definitely get a lot better than that. Absolutely. We'll figure that out in time. But yeah, so that kind of stuff is now possible. So when it comes to corner combo potential for 16, things are just getting a lot better. We got a lot new things to learn, all thanks to these Destructo Disc changes. Also, this applies to her assist as well. The Destructo Disc assist now also has more hit stun as well. So Gotenks has some interesting stuff. So as far as the moves, you can cancel into all his other moves. So you could always cancel like Miracle Punch into spin, or you could cancel your spin into like a shout cancel, that kind of stuff. You can now do that basically frame one. Like, you can barely see the animation of the move plan out before you're even allowed to cancel it now. You can always cancel it, yes, but the speed of which it lets you cancel it now is just absolutely absurd. Now, to be brutally honest, I'm not a Gotenks main, never am, never will be. I don't like short characters, but I'm sure there's some extra secret sauce that's applicable with this kind of stuff, just considering the absolute speed now of which you can cancel one move into another. Also, now EX Miracle Super Punch in the air has been changed, so I got some footage of how it looked like before on its downward arc. And now the downward arc is completely different, because he goes like all the way down to the ground. Now, when it comes to combo ability, because you're going down to the ground, if you manage to do this in the combo, this means you're going to be ground level with your assist, which is going to be awesome. So there's going to be a lot more combo ability, a lot more combo potential due to this change, because you just go all the way down, all the way fast. The light version of Rolling Kick also changed up here. So first up, if you do it on the ground, not the air version, you now count as on the ground, so you're not subject to all the variety of anti-air moves in the game. Also, it states adjusted the distance moved, and yo, they're not lying because it got adjusted pretty far. This now goes like 80% of the screen distance, so yeah, adjusted is a good word for that because you got some distance to this move as well now. As far as Galactic Donut's concerned, this guy here, so this is now special cancelable on hit, so if you do it, you can go right into a special, that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of potential with that in mind, and it's a lot easier to work with homing dashes as it cancels into the homing dash now, versus how it used to be is you would do it, recover, then you could homing dash, and yeah, that would work sometimes depending on the scenario, but now it just directly cancels into a homing dash on as far as it goes when it connects. So yeah, utility of that going way up the roof. Also, when it hits not the main character, it'll hold them in place a little bit now as well, where things like this are now possible, and yo, happy birthday, because now you can easily get whoever's caught up in the Galactic Donut. So yeah, also pretty good. Also, as far as this B assist goes, more hits and more damage. As far as Krillin's concerned, we got some range buffs. So I got some old footage here showing how his stand medium and stand heavy worked before, and suffice to say, they're better now. Stand medium now connects from like the round start position, and stand heavy goes a lot further. Like, I can back up a bit here, and I'm still gonna connect. So even though his limbs are short, the fact that he moves forward so much while doing it, that more than makes up for it, and now the boy's got some serious range, to say the least. His aerial Kamehameha, so how it works now is this. When you just let it rock, you'll follow the set amount of distance, whatever it is, converse to wherever you are in the air before it goes off. However, if you hold down, he will stay in place. So you get to choose now, basically, will he be stuck in the air where you do the move, or do you choose to let him fall down with the move? So as far as like screen control, neutral, this has pretty decent applications, because you now pick and choose whichever one you want, whichever one is better for you, right? So you can have a moving beam arcing box, which is pretty cool, or just a static one, whatever works best for you. So Majin Buu, only one change, but an interesting enough one here. His C assist, that is the cartwheel here, where he teleports to you, now tracks. So if you hit the foe and they're up in the air, he'll be wherever they are, making this a much more useful C assist pound for pound for combo ability and all that kind of stuff. Not the biggest change in the world, and it's the only change he's got once again, but still, it's good enough. So for Nappa, Nappa only has changes to the arm break series of moves. That is these guys here. I'm sure you don't see them used too often, but now you might, So for the basic version of the move here across the board here, has a better hitbox upwards and all that kind of stuff. Hitbox changes is good. Follow-ups can now be performed during the camera shift of the held version. That means this guy here, you hold it, then it'll bounce him, all that kind of stuff. And the attack will now cause a ground bounce when there is no camera shift. So when you don't get that little bit of a cinematic close-up. And what does that mean? Well, it means entirely new combo routes for Nappa. So normally if I were to do something like this here, stand heavy into the medium version, it would just dunk him to the ground, right? Sliding knockdown. But now if I hold it ever so slightly to get the charged version, I get a whole new combo. Well, whatever. I didn't optimize that. I know how the hit stun was going to work out, but you get the idea, right? So that is entirely new combo potential for Nappa. And to be fair, to get the partial charge for this, for the bounce, a little difficult. However, for the EX, it's pretty easy. In fact, for the EX, there's no actual timing to it. You just hold the button and it'll work out. You don't need to manually time anything. So yes, this is the quote-unquote only change for Nappa, but it is a pretty big change. And considering Nappa, without a shadow of a doubt, in case you do not know, Nappa is the combo king of this game. No character in this game has more crazy and varied combo routes than Nappa does. And now we just opened up a whole new chapter of that book. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff will be happening in the future. So all I can say, look out on YouTube, look out on Twitter for the Nappa combo lords, because they got a lot more to play with. Okay, Android 16. We all know the poor boy's been in the doldrums for years now, honestly. And I don't know if this is going to take him to top tier or nothing, but still, it's welcome that he's getting these changes. So first up here, down heavy in the air, the old dive kick. So it is changed up, so the sliding knockdown is a little bit different. It does matter for another thing we'll talk about, which is the OTGs. We'll talk about that in a second. So his anti-air dunks, quarter circle back, light, medium, heavy series, the EX version, it always had a hit attached to it at the very start if you're beside the enemy. And funnily enough, just so you know, it's actually his fastest move. It starts up in 6 frames. Everything else he has, next fastest will be 7. So this initial hit is his fastest move. And this is now a low. So before you could just kind of block it, whatever, it didn't really matter. But now specifically, you do have to block it crouching. Now, this isn't the biggest deal in the world, but hey, you might catch someone sleeping. You never know. So his grounded quarter circle forward, medium, and heavy got buffed. That is his dash forward and grab for both versions. Now, here's the thing. So before, it could always go through basic key blast, which was cool enough, right? You know, hey, a little bit of screen control. But if you were up against a proper beam, well, not so much. But now, yes, indeed, you can go through beams. You can go through everything that is a projectile. Be it a key blast, be it a beam, be it anything assist-wise, you can go through everything. Now, as we saw right there, when the active frames run out, your protection runs out. So make sure you're going through it during the duration of the move, because if you miss and run out halfway through, you're going to get smacked. Now, I'm using Gotenks here as a good example. So Cooler has something very similar, right? But being a grab, that means you can only get grounded foes. So if you call out, say, Gotenks, he won't be on the ground to get grabbed when you actually get there, just so you know. Now, of course, being a grab, unlike Cooler, Cooler can be blocked, right? This, well, you can't block a grab. That's kind of against the whole spirit of the move, right? So if you feel they're going to be grounded and just tossing a whole lot of mess your way, well then either the EX or the medium version, this is your ticket. You are basically now the Juggernaut and you do not care because you get to go through everything. So here's a very interesting change. The quarter circle back S, that is the close version of Hell Heat versus say the far one. It can now hit people on the ground while they're in sliding knockdown. So as we talked about earlier here, how the dive kick is a better sliding knockdown, right? So I can actually do this and then follow up with that. Now, of course, just so you know, the timing's got to be fairly quick, but it totally connects. So normally you might do something like this, like, you know, you'll get it and then go for a super, something like that. But now what you can do instead is get your sliding knockdown, go for the close Hell Heat, then go for your super. So something like this. And it just nets you a little bit more damage. It's not crazy, right? It's not revolutionary. But the fact that he can just actually tag people on the ground with this move is pretty cool. So that's just a very basic example. We'll probably figure out more interesting things down the road with this. But yeah, so basically, effectively, for the combos that'll matter for, you'll just do more damage, right? And just another example here. So say you do an aerial Dragon Rush. That's a sliding knockdown, right? So another example, right? So that gives a sliding knockdown the aerial DR. So you can OTG off the ground, in case you don't know what OTG means, and just clean them up and do something with it. So yeah, pretty neat. Now, as for the assists, we got one good change for the A assist and one, honestly, revolutionary change for the B assist. So first up here, the A assist, the old classic, right? Well, it's a little bit different in that it is now multi-hitting, so it does 2 hits. Actually does less raw damage. So it does 765 now, used to do 850, but it also has more frame advantage. So it used to be 40 frames of advantage, now is 45 frames of advantage. So his B assist, you might remember that, he kind of does a little jump and then he does his air S, right? Now, hey, let's double the fun. So he'll still do it and then land and then do it again. So yes, he will shoot 4 consecutive attacks. Making this like basically the most active assist because he's tossing out a lot of stuff, a lot of real estate here on the screen, right? So combo potential, to say the least, with this assist is now like a whole new level. You will be able to do combo stuff with this assist that has like never been possible before. So just to give you a small idea. So I'm just going to go for like a regular cyber setup here. I'm going to go stand heavy and then another stand heavy and go from there, right? So yeah, you can basically do your hits, call the assist, get more hits, and then the assist will keep covering you and go from there. So yeah, whole wide new world of possibilities, say the least, right? It does own a lot of the screen for a fair amount of time, but just so you know, this assist, as always, these are weak key blasts, so you can reflect through them, you can homing dash, super dash through them, all that stuff. But yeah, man, very interesting, very interesting. So 16, you know, maybe he didn't get everything I personally would have liked, but this is very cool, and man, I think this has a lot of potential. Okay, Tien, strap yourselves in, boys, because we're going for a ride. Let's start with the easy stuff, and let's work our way to the crazy stuff, right? So first up, the easy stuff. Crouch medium goes ever so slightly further forward. Like almost a negligible amount, but it's there, I guess. So, hey, I guess that's cool. So for his basic key blast, the grounded basic key blast is 3 frames faster than it was originally. So if we did point blank, here it says 12 frames, originally it would have been 15. And the jumping one has also been sped up ever so slightly as well. Volleyball Fist, it said adjusted distance move during the mid-air version of the attack, and what it means is basically goes up higher and better. So say you're in a situation where like you already used your super dash and then you go for a down heavy in the air. Well, you can't super dash again, right? So you just vanish out. Now his medium volleyball chop here actually can connect. So I can do this, and would you know it, it's high enough to connect and smack him down. So in the situations where you get that homing dash and you got really nothing else, Like, this is immediately better already, because at least you get the chop in, then you could vanish. But you can always get a sliding knockdown now, no matter what, no matter where, when, why, how. So, pretty good buff to just the old rando super dash. EX volleyball fists follow up, so these guys specifically both got their damage cranked up just a little bit as well. Also on the second EX, so if you get the camera shift, so you get the little cinematic bit, he actually has faster recovery, meaning the follow-up combo here, where you can go like down M into like whatever, actually is easier. So before, I wouldn't say it's the hardest thing in the world, but you definitely had to think about it. And now, honestly, pretty easy. So, hey, there you go. Awesome. Easy use. Love it. Crane strikes on block. They're different now. So I'll show you some footage here how they used to look. So basically, the distance is now changed. So now if you look at a crane strike on block here, we're actually a fair bit closer to the foe than we were before. It's not the end of the world. The idea here is you recover a lot quicker. So you can just kind of work from there. So if it's blocked, like, you know, whatever. The negative amount's nothing, right? But yeah, so that is the change. Okay, I promised you let's get crazy a bit. Now we're going to start getting crazy. So Dodon Ray, he now moves in the aerial version. He'll just fall while doing it. So hey, do you know Dr. Doom in Marvel vs. Capcom? Because does this bring back any memories, maybe? So while he's falling, keep in mind here, the Dodon Ray is all one giant active hitbox. It only has one hit though. So if any part of it connects, the whole move goes off the way it should, right? So now you have a giant moving arcing death beam across the screen. So if you do it very high, you'll eventually fall and stop in place. But even then, you still can control quite a bit of the screen with the actual beam, right? But now basically hops into beams are now a thing, and you have to control quite a bit of space while doing it. Sometimes it'll whiff here because I am using Goku, of course, right? Now, say if you want to stay in place, right? You can. All you gotta do is hold down while doing it, and he'll stay in place like you used to always do it. But I do gotta tell you, this whole movement arc is much superior, because, man, he was just dead to rights if this whiffed, right? If you were above him or below him, it was simply just wait him out and then cave his head in, right? This whole new arc, man, it's good. Very good. So yeah, really good. Big, big, big thumbs up. Another change here is the Tri-Beams, both regular and Neo Tri-Beam. So while you are in Limit Break, aka he's the last character alive, they take even less health. So normally, each Tri-Beam would cost you 7.5% of your health, right? And it's basically half that now. Before, it would take you about 13, 14, 15 or so, whatever, Tri-Beams to die. Like, you couldn't kill yourself, but it'd take all your health. And now it's definitely going to be a lot more than that. So there's still a health cost associated with it. But if you're using Tien as your anchor and he's your last character, which ideally is what you should be using him for anyways, the penalty is much less severe. And this goes across the board as well. So let's show you what happened before when we did Neo Tri-Beam and we used up all of our bar. As you can see, the health cost was significant. And now, well, not so much. So we dump all 7 bars. Neo Tri-Beam. You'd be going to the Reapers before, and now it's like 25% of your health. So if you're in that situation now where you can dump all 7 bars on a dude, before, like if there was another character after that, you basically are throwing the match almost. Like Tien's so hurt, right? But now a quarter for basically a guaranteed dead character, man, that is not even a bad trade. Also, another big buff to anchor Tien is the minimum damage value of Chaozu exploding has gone up. So he now does more damage than he ever did before. He was already basically the best scaling level 3 after a combo. He did a minimum of 2,160 damage, so 21.5%. And now he does more. Okay, so we're in the corner. And we're just going to do a basic B&B combo, and we are in Limit Break, because once again, hey, it should be an anchor, right? And let me ask you, do you think this is pretty good damage for a B&B? 73%. So Chaozu now does 610, then 2,000 damage. instead of the 2160 before. So this combo right here, as you're looking at it, does 7,341 damage. Before the patch, this exact same combo would have been done 6,891 damage. So it is effectively another 4.5% basically. So the ability for Tien to close out on a character with Chaozu has gone up. And the fact that, you know, it is much less painful to do tri-beams and all that kind of stuff, man, big stuff for the character. Big stuff. And finally, his B assist got buffed. So he used to hit in 60 frames, now hits in 50. So still a slow move, but for a move that tracks everywhere on the screen, and for a move that's very unique as it's the only assist, one of 2 assists that can give you meter, I think that's pretty cool. So 10 frames faster. So Hit has some stuff. First up here, this old chestnut is back because the down medium, the stomp, has more active frames, meaning by the time the enemy lands after the down light overhead, they will wake up into that. So that is now an option again. That is pretty cool. Now here's a combination of factors. So the time release, that is the up attack here specifically. And of course, depending on what you're doing, whatever it is that ends in the up attack, that has more hit stun. So the enemy will be in stun longer when you do a combo. And stand heavy, this guy here, more active frames. And also the time it takes to cause a wall bounce has been changed. It is now a bit more delayed than it was before. And when you put these things together, well, then we get new combo route potential. So basic example here, but this is something that just wouldn't have been possible before the patch. So that is a whole new route right there. Now, is it optimal? I'm certainly not, right? People smarter than me can figure out the hit stuff, right? But yeah, so Hit now has lots and lots and lots more combo potential. Also for Hit, his B assist is now a few frames faster. Not crazily so, but still faster is better. For Blue Goku, his A assist now appears further forward. And by the fact they mean further forward, they mean full screen. So yeah, this assist got so much better in Season 3. And now, it can hit from full screen, right? So there's a lot of implications for that. Of course, if you are by the enemy, it's not going to go clear over their head, right? It will track to a degree. So yeah, this move, this assist, definitely a lot better. His B assist also goes a little bit further, but decidedly not full screen like the A assist. Blue Vegeta. Now, Blue Vegeta is another character. Man, oh man, we finally got something to work with. So let's talk about it. So first up, let's just talk his Ki Blasts, as these are some of the biggest changes. One right here is this. His downward Ki Blasts. All of them are better across the board. They all have bigger hitboxes, all that kind of stuff. Also have more stun value, and if you're in the air, down Ki Blast no longer has any effect on your momentum. So something like this right here, you fall right to the ground, which means if you catch someone, then you can run forward and convert as well, because you fell to the ground, and hey, there you go, right? Also, as far as more hit stun, how much more? Well, things like this are now possible. Juggling 4 consecutive Ki Blasts in a row, and that wasn't chain. I was just manually linking each one. So yeah, a lot more hit stun to say the least. Just to get out and say it, the whole bug with him being able to cancel Ki Blast into a down H if they get super dash through, not fixed. Now, if a move whiffs, you are able to immediately cancel like Big Bang Attack or Super or something like that, but that core issue has not been addressed. So, hey, I don't know, but it's there. But yeah, one of the biggest things is just the Ki Blasts are better across the board, and this gives you a lot more screen control to work with, like just something like that. Really cool, right? And man, the big thing here is there's going to be more combo routes. He has decent combos, but now they're going to be better because you just have a lot more possibility to work with. One of the reasons why, well, his light dunk here, light dunk now comes in at 20 frames. At the fastest possible timing, which is a fair bit faster than it was before. Before, hey, maybe not so much, but now with a couple frames shaved off, everything's going to work out a little bit better. And now, thanks to the increased hit stun of the downward Ki Blasts, you can rest assured when you're doing a longer combo, you will always be able to get that light dunk off to finish your combo. So now, example, corner combo wise, I'm sure you can do better than this, but just to give you an idea, something like this. So there you go. Build a fairly good amount of bar, right? That was like 2 meters gained or so. Damage is pretty decent. Since the hit stun is so high now on these downwards ki blasts, I didn't have to homing dash right away after this kind of setup here, which normally you would have. I could save my super dash for later, which once again, mid combo, I could do my downward ki blast, then super dash, then hit, more downward ki blast, and end with a dunk, right? So yeah, combo structure definitely better across the board. And also on those Rekkas, you're getting more damage, all that kind of stuff, so that is also buffed. Also, Niagara Pummel, that's this guy here, been buffed a little bit as well. And thanks to those ki blasts, say you get a confirm like that, right? Well then all of a sudden, hey, now it works, right? So we can actually get a full screen super confirm off his basic ki blast, which, you know, hey, couldn't really before, right? Also, the held version has been changed up a bit, making it a lot easier to get combo potential after it, especially mid-screen. So I have no idea what a decent combo would be right now at this time, because I'm working on a lot of characters. But yeah, so you can get that super confirm and then just convert to another combo. So yeah, the main story here is these ki blasts. These ki blasts are not the only change, but they make everything possible for him now. Now, he's certainly not going to be top tier or nothing, but this is a really good kick in the pants for Blue Vegeta, and it's some of the best he's had in a very long time. So for Beerus, so down M changed again, gets changed almost every single patch, honestly. So they sped it up, and the move will be different depending on how close you are to the enemy as far as like overall speed. You can see here 12 frames now at point blank, and just basically the move's better. The interesting change is the assist. So the assist now shoots 2 projectiles instead of 1, right? So obviously on top of giving more damage, it means a lot more combo routes, a lot more combo potential depending on what you're working with, as you get a second hitbox a lot higher up, right? So if you manage to knock them into it, or if you just get both up close, whatever, hey, there you go. So if you're already using that assist, that's a thumbs up. For Android 21, she now moves forward a little bit when doing her stand medium. So while it gives her more range than she normally has, you could view this as a nerf, depending on, like, you know, certain block string setups and all that. But overall, for most people, I would say this is a net buff, just because it gives long range move even more range to work with. And also her aerial level 3 now tracks better. So it'll teleport to wherever they are in the air and then smack them. So before, depending on your air combo, you actually might just go underneath them and completely whiff. Now, pretty safe bet, you're never going to whiff ever again. Bardock, only change is to his B assist, and hey, doesn't go full screen anymore, so no more of this into easy confirm, into whatever, right? And you know what? Hey, don't write it off. That's all I'm going to say. Don't write it off, because guess what? Still a very high block stun assist. Still has all the same utility other than going literally full screen. So this move is still good. Bardock's still very good. Don't write it off. It's good. For Broly, only small changes, but still. If you're in Sparking now, the third hit of the auto combo, you can jump cancel that now. So you don't have to burn your homing dash on that specific part, right? Your super dash. You can just jump cancel like most things you can in your Sparking, and that's normal. And the other change is to his B assist. So the B assist now appears further away from you and higher up than it did before. So it is now much more directly comparable to Super Saiyan Vegeta's A assist. And also with the higher up angle, it's just a lot better for combo ability and just general use. So you can give this assist a real chance now. It is in most respects now just Super Saiyan Vegeta's A assist, right? Now his A assist is also very good, but yo, this is a lot more real than it was before. He's nice and safe. He's way behind you. He's way above you. You're not really going to hit him. So, yeah. I say play around with it. Broly, hey, he got buffed. Y'all thought he was going to be nerfed and didn't happen. Okay, so base Goku. The only real thing to talk about here is his B assist, but it's very interesting. So before, the B assist gave you 75% of a bar, right? Now it gives you all the bar, straight up. Every time you call this assist, you get 1 free bar, full bar. So that's kind of a big deal, to say the least, right? And now when he's at all 3 charges, when the Spirit Bomb's fully charged, because each time you call him, it charges the Spirit Bomb, right? He'll now give you basically a bar and a half, as you can see here. So he'll give you like 1.25 bars. So, I don't know, man. There's the team. Every time you click assist, you get a free bar. So, like, over the course of any given game, you can have, like, I don't know, like 5 to 10 more bars than your opponent, depending on how many times you call this guy. That is not nothing. That is significant. So, I don't know who, what, when, where, but someone will have the bar team where they just kind of flit around, let Goku get all that bar, and then dump it something fierce. So, Cooler got 1 change, and it's legitimately, to me, the single most disappointing change in the entire patch. So he got a new level 3. Awesome, right? So before, his level 3 was this guy, was the counter, and if you did it in the air, it was a grab instead, right? And now you can do that grab on the ground. Awesome, right? A new way for him to open people up. Expensive, sure, but hey, something. Well, no. So here's the thing about this. So the aerial version, you could like Tiger Knee it off the ground, like do it very low to the ground, right? To get the grab. And it always whiffed on crouchers. That was kind of the thing. So it was basically for combos only. And this new, by itself, grounded version still cannot hit crouching people. So it's basically, what's the point? So you do not get to use this as a tool to open people up. It cannot hit crouchers. 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to like tick someone into a grab setup, they are going to be crouching. Now, before anyone in the comments says, well, maybe it was meant to be used, you know, on the ground and stuff. Well, one, if you're using it off like dive kicks, you naturally bounced off and you got the air version anyway, so you got the grab level 3. And if you're trying to do it off a sliding knockdown, like say like this, you could just do the Tiger Knee version like instant air and it would work anyways, right? So for combos or whatever, this was not needed. The only value this new level 3 could have had is if it worked like a true level 3 grab, like Trunks or something, right? So I'm gonna hope this is an oversight. Maybe you're watching this video like a month after it came out and they patch it and it works against crouchers. But otherwise, this is like, as far as I'm concerned, a dead move and a giant disappointment for something I was actually looking forward to quite a bit. So Android 17, one of the most interesting things here is he can now have new aerial special moves. So he can either do his Rekka series in the air, which will basically involve him doing a big elbow drop, and yes, that is a true overhead that must be blocked standing, or if he does quarter circle back, light, medium, or heavy, he'll do a little bit of a fake out here. As you can see here, so light will bring you forward a bit, medium will put you back a bit, and EX will just drop you straight down. Now, since you have an EX move that is overhead okay, you can actually do this like Tien. So Tien got the overhead chop in Season 3 if you Tiger Knee it, as in, and we'll just turn on our notation so you can see what I'm talking about here. So the motion is quarter circle forward and heavy. And if you do quarter circle forward and then hit up forward and then hit heavy, you'll basically do the EX version in the air as close to the ground as possible, meaning you get something like this, where you get that overhead very, very low to the ground and very quick. And against taller characters that would actually hit earlier. GT Goku, obviously very low to the ground, right? So yeah, cool stuff. Another little tool in the arsenal. Reverse gear, that is the shield into the blast. States here it has more time to cause the wall bounce during the camera shift, as in when it causes a little bit of the cinematic here. And as far as I can tell, now you can do stuff like this, like recombo and like all that stuff. I'm not great with 17, but there should be more combo potential that is possible. And now his B assist, he appears further than he did before. So as you can see here, you know, decent enough distance. Here it is before the patch. So yeah, distance is fairly significant, right? It's not quite full screen or nothing, but it's certainly better than what it was. Okay, here we are with Jiren, and let's not make any bones about it. This is the main event of the patch. Jiren is in the game now. Now, will he be top tier? Probably not. But Jiren, for so long we wanted him to get some stuff, and yo, he got some stuff. So let's talk about it here. First up here, let's start with one of the most amazing things, his stand S. So his stand S now, well, hey, let's just show it, right? His stand S now bounces off basic ki blasts. So just like a super dash, right? So just like this, same deal. So Jiren shows how manly he is because he can just tank all this stuff. So when it comes to ki blast wars, you know, fighting people with other ki blasts from full screen, rest assured Jiren's going to win against most of the cast. And before you ask, does he beat Broly? No, of course not. Nobody beats Broly. Broly's the best. So the problem is, since Broly has a higher tier of ki blast than everyone else, Jiren trades with like a version of it here, and they kind of break each other, and then Broly just has more ki blast where that came from, right? So no, he doesn't get to beat Broly unless he's just kind of ahead of the blast. But yeah, but for basically everyone else, yeah, he has them pretty much dead to rights, right? So hey, awesome. And while we got Broly here, I think he's going to help us showcase one of the biggest changes for Jiren. Now, I know this isn't sexy on paper, but trust me, this is a good one. So, down light, this guy here, this move is now 8 frames, down from 10. So, that's a pretty big cut, right? 8 frames is just a little bit slower than a standard jab. And it also got a range buff. So, from the round start position, if we're just like edged close, we got it. So, Broly, here's the stand light, right? And it's basically the biggest stand light in the game. And guess what? This is 7 frames as well. Jiren? Nah, he's got that beat. And he can hit from further out, right? He can hit later in his active frames as well. And yeah, this move causes no scaling. It's like if you start a combo with a raw medium, right? So if you start the combo with down light, you're going to get bigger damage just across the board, right? And keep in mind, this move is barely negative on block. It is only -2. So against characters that don't have, you know, big normal range, you can kind of like stagger it like crazy and just bully. Because at 8 frames and only -2, you know, if their lights can't reach, they got to start using their mediums. And this is going to be faster than their mediums. So yeah, this move was already one of Jiren's better moves, straight up. And coming in at 2 frames shorter, man, and more range, it's really legit. The grab, his stand heavy. Did it get better? Yes. It is now 2 frames better. 26 frames versus the 28 it was at before. Now, we've all pined and said it should be 24 because all big boy grabs that let you do combos in the corner, those are generally 24 frame grabs, like the Brolys and all that, right? And, you know, he's not going to get the quick grabs, the 17 framers. That's not going to happen, so whatever. But yeah, we're marching ever so closely to the 24 frame gap. Maybe Season 4 you'll finally get it, but still 2 frames better. That means it's just an extra opportunity within a couple frames to get people that were just a little bit asleep at the wheel, so we're slowly getting there. EX Infinity Rush got 2 frames faster. Used to be 17 frames, now it's 15. So considering the range, man, not even a bad idea to toss it out and see what happens sometimes. Now here's a fun one. So Shock Tornado, that is the counter, right? It's immune to ki blast now. It's immune to projectiles. Like, even if I were to toss out like a proper projectile, like a beam strength projectile, yeah, you can just tank it. So yeah, that's the thing now. Also immune to assists and all that. So if you're doing like wake up EX grab or something and they call assist just in case, you know, they get got, that's not going to save them anymore. So yeah, you can just laugh off projectiles with your physical counter now. Okay, counter impact. This one just went full on crazy. So this is the projectile counter move, right? And just so you know, yes, you can still vanish it and all that kind of stuff. But Jiren's ability to vanish himself while doing it has gotten a lot better, a lot easier. So it's now a lot easier for you to vanish their vanish or to vanish their super or whatever if they do it to you. So that part's kind of the same, but it's easier for Jiren to get himself out of that predicament. But here's the thing. So added invincibility to physical attack. So yeah, normally use it against projectiles, all that kind of stuff, right? But, so say we got an old instant air dash heavy. Yeah, we got that, right? So yeah, we can deal with all sorts of physical stuff. And here's the real kicker. So it also gets all dragon rushes and all grabs. So now let's break this down. So if it gets all projectiles, and it gets all physical attacks. And if it gets all grabs, what doesn't it get? Well, here's the thing. There's only one thing it doesn't get now, and that is raw supers. As far as I can tell, as long as you stick your hand out with Jiren now, you literally beat everything other than supers. So I don't know if it's intended for it to be grabs. In the patch notes, it doesn't say a thing about that, right? But yeah, so if you see him do this, your only option is to do a raw super. That is it. Otherwise, you just gotta let him rock. And yo, he recovers actually fairly quick after this, right? So it's pretty difficult to like punish him if you see the whiff. So yeah, I don't know if this is gonna stay the way it is right now for a long time. But all I gotta say is enjoy the ride, because Jiren is not having it anymore. Jiren is done. A whole season and a half of Injustice. Well, hey, you ever play Injustice? You know what happened to Superman when he faced Injustice? He turned crazy. And now we got Jiren turning crazy because this beats everything. Also, Grand Charge, this guy here, got more distance. Now, it's not a lot more. It still doesn't go as far as I would like it to go. I'd say it got like a 20%-ish movement boost. But at least like from this distance, it will connect at the very end of the active frames. Versus before, man, wouldn't have had a hope from hitting from that far away. So it's something at least. And finally, his C assist is the same as his stand S. So yes, this is also immune to basic key blast as well. So yeah, Jiren got a lot. The stand S change to his neutral is a very big deal, because now he can play neutral very strong. Like, you gotta contest against this. If you want to beat this, you gotta toss out beams. And guess what? This comes out faster than the beam, right? So if you want to play on the ground, well then hey, it's gonna be hard. And of course, if you want to play around in the air, Jiren has a thing or two to say about the air, right? And with the fact that they broke his counter impacts counter move, man, you just gotta stop. Jiren will now finally stop the game. I think that was originally the intention of Jiren all the way back when he first came out, was he was a guy meant to slow down the game, and maybe that didn't happen the way they hoped. And now this will grind the game to a halt, because there's nothing you can do against it. You can't hit him, you can't shoot him, you can't grab him. Like here, like, you know, hey Broly, let's do a Dragon Rush, right? How well is this Dragon Rush gonna turn out for you? Oh, not at all, because it doesn't work. So yeah, new golden age for Jiren, all I can say. Videl. So Videl, there's some hope now. There's some hope. Now, okay, before you ask, no, she didn't get the regular reflect, right? But now, if you actually successfully dodge a move, she will recover faster after the dodge invincibility is over. So she can do stuff better now. Now, as far as some of the changes here, pretty decent one here, down medium kick. Now much faster. So point blank is 12 frames. Before, this move was stupid slow for what it was, which was a kind of below average down medium. Now, with the frame data, how it is, it's more appropriate for what the move is. So that is definitely pretty decent. For stand S and down S, it says increased stun time, so basically more hit stun, so more combo potential. Jump down heavy, this is the big one. A lot of hard combos are going to become easy, and a lot of stuff that basically wasn't possible before now will be possible. So to give you an example here, let's try a re-jump combo with the new down heavy, which causes a lot more hit stun than it did before, making new combos possible. And there you go, right? So as far as I know, you couldn't really do that before. And in case you're not aware, with the re-jump, you do have to delay your homing dash a little bit. But yeah, thanks to the increased hit stun on this guy, hey, that works. Combo stuff like this as well in the corner. So this kind of stuff was possible before, but now thanks to just a lot more hit stun, it just makes it a lot easier. As you can see there, I have no idea if that's optimal. I'm not a big Videl guy myself, but yeah, just an idea, right? So it used to be a little bit tricky. Now, honestly, dirt easy. Jump S as well, always one of her best moves. So it is now faster and has more hit stun, so you can get some weird gimmicky combos like this, which I'm sure you guys can optimize. Something like that, right? So almost like Saiyaman loops, because you get to call him multiple times and keep comboing after, right? Once again, if you're a Videl guy, I'm sure you know more than me, you can crack that wide open, but still, yeah, really good. For the Videl rushes, that's the Rekka series. So the light version, mid-air, faster startup. The EX version now goes a lot further on the ground than it used to. So if you're looking to just like kind of snipe someone out with it, you totally can now. Also EX version in the air, also faster as well. For Frankensteiners, the light and EX versions are now both faster in the air. And just a bit of a bug fix, I guess you could say. It's like, technically it's a nerf, right? But her counter super now only deals blue damage. So in Dragon Ball FighterZ, as a general rule, anything that's invincible, armored, or guard point, and just otherwise is defendable on the first possible frame, is always going to deal recoverable damage. So as you can see here, the health is blue. Before the patch, this wasn't the case, right? So this is just putting it in line with every other character and how invincibility slash armor slash all that kind of stuff works across the board. So if Cooler did his invincible level 3 counter super, same deal, it would be all blue. Jiren did EX counter, all blue, all that kind of stuff. So just bringing her in line with everyone else. For Janemba, his projectile counter here has more hit stop, meaning the enemy is just in place during the initial hit before they get kind of bounced afterwards. Just making stuff like mid-screen conversions, all that, just a little bit easier, giving you a little bit more time to work with. The EX Hellgate move, the one where he kind of tosses the projectile now, he doesn't seem to move as far back as he used to before, and he definitely recovers quite a bit quicker. So you actually can probably get whole new combo routes, all new combo potential with this. And for his Z assist, and this is specifically his A assist, this is the one that's somewhat similar to Super Saiyan Vegeta. So the initial hit now comes in at 35 frames. The initial hit used to come in at 40, so it comes in 5 frames faster. And now keep in mind too, this move, it's an assist that tracks, so it'll do its best to reach wherever you are on the screen. So it coming in just faster on that initial hit, that's kind of a big deal. It makes this assist a lot more usable both in neutral and in combos. Okay, and the final big winner of a patch here, final guy that's getting a lot to work with, is Gogeta. So one of the biggest complaints about Gogeta is frame data, frame data, frame data, and hey, so now stand light -3, right? That's pretty workable. Used to be -5. Down light is now -5, safe. It used to be -8, which is punishable at this range, so that works out as well. His stand light also got faster. That's good. Once again, I'm working with the frame data thing here. And let's talk about the stupid down medium change. So, this goes a lot further than it used to before, right? If you're a fan of Street Fighter, start thinking Kami, because this guy is now Spiral Arrow. They can hit you from roughly half screen now. And yeah, so pretty big buff to neutral with this very quick move, considering what it can do, because it is a raw medium starter, right? And just go into full combo from there. Also, on the frame data train, his basic Ki Blast, which is a proper beam. Unlike many other Ki Blasts, this is a full-on beam, clashes with beam, all that. Got 2 frames faster. Used to start up in 20 frames, now starts up in 18, right? So yeah, as far as just like generalized screen control, all that kind of stuff, man. Making your beam faster is definitely pretty good. And also, when it comes to aerial beam as well, also 2 frames faster as well. So, hey, awesome. EX Knee now goes literally full screen. Before, it traveled a pretty good distance to be sure. But now combined with, a faster beam, you can just cancel it right into it. And you'll always have a little bit of full screen taps. Just, make sure the enemy isn't asleep at the wheel. As far as assists go, his A assist says increase the distance. And you know what? Fair enough, because now it's literally full screen. So I think that lives up to the deal of increased distance. And his B assist. So now the B assist, he starts out a little bit in front of you, so he can actually gain some forward momentum while doing the move. Because before, it was basically the worst uppercut assist. And now with this, that he's a lot further out when he does it, it controls a lot more space. So yeah, it's definitely better off now. It is actually worth your consideration. So yeah, that is the breakdown of the big patch. Once again, this is all the big stuff. Things that were like bug fixes or just really minor changes I didn't consider worth going over. Well, I guess I didn't go over them, right? Once again, if you want to see the full patch notes, either check the link at the end of this video where I go over it all, or check the video description, there's a link to it there. And yeah, man, overall, patch-wise, thumbs up. Everyone didn't get what they needed. Let's be real here, right? Goku Black still sucks. Zamasu didn't even get changed at all, right? So I guess that means they think he's perfect where he is, whereas I personally kind of disagree on that one. But still, people like Krillin, people like Jiren, people like Videl, people like Gogeta, they got a lot of stuff that people wanted, and hey, there you go. So overall, big thumbs up on the patch. Now, will there be more patches in the future? I guess we'll see, but for now, that is it for this video. So my friends, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video finds you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.